They said the drum could speak, not with words, but with truth. And the night it chose to speak, oh.
They said the drum could speak, not with word, but with truth. And the night it chose to speak, a whole kingdom changed forever. Listen carefully, because this is the story of the drum that carried the voice of the people. Long ago, in a peaceful African village surrounded by tall palms and red earth, there lived a people who loved music more than gold. Every morning, drums woke the farmers. Every evening, songs guided the hunters home. But at the center of the village stood one special drum, older than the tallest tree, carved from sacred wood. Wrapped in stories no one remembered fully, they called it the talking drum. And though it had not spoken for many years, the elders said, when the people lose their voice, the drum will remember it for them. The village had a king, strong, proud, and once very wise. But as seasons passed, the king stopped walking among his people. He stopped listening. Taxes grew heavier, judgments grew harsher, and fear quietly replaced joy. The people whispered their pain to the wind, but the palace walls were too thick. No one dared to speak, until one evening, when the sky turned the color of fire and the talking drum began to hum. At first it was soft, a slow, steady beat. Thum, thum, thum. Children stopped playing, birds fell silent. Even the elders looked up in fear. Then the rhythm changed, and the drum began to speak, not with a voice, but with stories. The rhythm told of hungry farmers, of mothers crying in secret, of warriors punished unfairly. Each beat carried a truth no one had dared to say aloud, and the sound traveled across huts, across fields, across the river, straight into the king's palace. The king woke in anger. "Who dares disturb my sleep?" he shouted. But when he listened, his anger melted into silence. The drum was telling his story, of promises he had forgotten, of power he had misused, of a crown that had grown heavier than his heart. For the first time in many years, the king wept. At sunrise, the king called the oldest elder. "Why does the drum speak now?" he asked. The elder bowed slowly and replied, "My king, the drum only speaks when the people's voices are too afraid to rise. The drum is not magic, it is memory, and tonight it remembered who you used to be." That day the king left his palace. He walked barefoot among his people. He listened. He reduced the heavy taxes. He freed the innocent. He returned land to the farmers. And every evening, the talking drum played again. But this time, its rhythm was light, joyful, full of laughter. The village had found its voice again. Many years later, when the king had become kind and old, the drum fell silent once more, and the elders said, "The drum rests, because the people no longer needed to speak for them." And so, my friend, this is the tale of the talking drum, a reminder that when leaders stop listening, truth will always find another way to speak, sometimes through whispers, sometimes through music, and sometimes through a drum. If this story touched your heart, remember to like this video, share it with someone you love, and subscribe to Big Mike Tales for more powerful African tales. Because every story carries a voice, and maybe the next one will carry yours.